Trust is important. Trust has to be earned. It's hard won and easily lost, and hard to regain once you've lost it. Once trust has been broken, it really is hard to get it back, because you can only trust someone until they break your trust. And at the moment they break your trust, they're no longer trustworthy. So you can't trust them anymore. So in order to win back that trust, you have to act in a trustworthy way. And ethics is just a huge, huge part of trustworthy. You don't trust people who aren't ethical. You don't trust people who don't respect the bounds of normal society and their the very reasonable expectations of a society, which is that, relationships between a teacher and their student are never power equal. There's a power imbalance always between the teacher and the student. In most relationships, undertaken in a student-teacher relationship, it's that the student ends up being abused in some way. So here's the big question. If Sogyal and Rigpa was to earn back my trust, how would he do that? He would first have to make an unconditional apology, publicly, of course. So he has to apologise for the harm he caused, not the harm people felt that he caused. He has to actually say, I'm sorry, I did hurt you and I'm really sorry for it. What I did was wrong. He needs to say that and stop all this justification of something that cannot be justified by its very nature. At least the Christian church didn't even try and pretend that it was anything other than wrong. I give them that. And maybe it's my Christian upbringing that makes it all just so very clear in terms of ethics. Any other teacher in Western society would be hauled into court for this. The scope of it is huge. The next thing is I want to make some kind of amends. What can I do to help you now? And then I think he needs to step down from teaching. No, not just step aside as spiritual director, but to actually say, well, I'm not going to teach anymore because, quite frankly, I am not qualified. Yeah, because in the West you'd just be stripped of that. People would go, well, you've been calling yourself something that you aren't. You're not a Vajra master. Sorry, you never did the schooling. Yeah, you don't make claims about who you are without some substance to those claims. Actions are what rebuilds trust. So the first action is, of course, the unconditional apology. And then there's the offer of support for those you harmed in whatever way you can do that. But there hasn't been any support for them shown at all yet. Where's the unconditional love you were preaching? We all know you can turn it on. And I'm sorry, you can't blame me for being suspicious that it might just all have been an act. I was so desperate for love that, of course, I would project onto you as my saviour, if you like. Anyway, I just hope that those moments of what I experienced as unconditional love were genuine on your part. If not, know that it was a brilliant projection on my part. Can Rinpoche and Rigpa redeem themselves? I honestly don't know. It's just too fucked up. It's really seriously twisted. It's a brilliant work of art if you like horror stories. Trust. There it is. Trust. Trust is very important. And the abuse of trust is very painful. You spiritually abused huge numbers of people. Because, in actual fact, you've spiritually abused them all. Every single one of them, even though they weren't all your direct victims. You had us all compliant and willing to run around after your every whim. It's brilliant, really. You only have to step back a little bit and look at it through the lens of the qualities of cult leaders, and you see that this fits into a much bigger picture, and it's called abuse. Spiritual abuse is the general term because that encompasses the whole community. Everyone who has thought that this person was more than what he actually is. So it's time to sign off. So until next time, catch you later. Don't forget to subscribe and share and like and, you know, all of that kind of stuff just to help keep us going. Oh, and, you know, I love my patrons.